Good morning, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm on YouTube today because I would like to make a clarification about yesterday's video. A number of you, who I think maybe didn't watch the whole video, left me comments reassuring me that I'm not an ugly person. And I want you to know that I don't actually think I'm an ugly person. That wasn't really my point. What that was an attention-grabbing title. I don't think I'm an ugly person. I never have. The point of the video was not about me feeling ugly. It was about people coming along, not knowing anything about others, and leaving random destructive comments based on, like, ignorance. Excuse me. Ernest, I think, is a very usual viewer of my videos. And he made a comment about how my husband, when we made our video together, was glowing when he talked about me. He's not the first person who has noticed this. We have a lot of chemistry, Bill and I do. And like when I take a picture with him, if I try to take one by myself, it doesn't look right, but when I'm with him, I just light up and I smile, and it's very natural. He's my person. We get along great. That man thinks I'm beautiful. He loves me. He's done a lot of great, funny things because of me. For instance, a few years ago, we went to a nude spa for the first time. And this was something that I kind of had wanted to do in spite of body image issues. I was just curious about it, and he was mortified at the idea. But because he loves me, he indulged. And we went to this place where in the first room you were allowed to wear a bathing suit, but the rest of the spa was nude. And that's a very common thing in Germany. You find a lot of spas where you're expected to be naked. And every sauna that I've ever experienced in Germany requires you to be nude. You do have a towel. You can wrap up in a towel, but you can't wear a bathing suit. Well, we went to this place, and within I guess about 5 minutes, I decided that it wasn't a big deal. I took off my bathing suit, and a few minutes after that, he took off his, and we had a great time. Since then, we've been to several nude spas, including Friedrichsbad, which is in Baden-Baden. That is a famous nude spa. It's a Roman-Irish bath. Everybody's there to have a good time, to relax and enjoy themselves. And it's, I think, 17 stations. You see all kinds of people, all colors and creeds, and the beautiful people are not necessarily there, but nobody really cares what other people look like. And it's refreshing, it's liberating. I like that. I know a lot of Americans would never dare. They would never go there, even if they were beautiful. Because what if somebody thinks I'm fat? What if they think I'm ugly? Well, you miss out on a lot when you have that attitude. And you see, my point yesterday was that I don't really want to be expected to look a certain way for somebody else, and especially at my age. I've already gone through 52 years of life where people expected me to be a certain way, look a certain way. And I usually just kind of bucked the expectation because I grew up with horses. Horses don't care what you look like. So I do put on makeup for the videos most of the time because I have to look at myself, and I think I look better with makeup on. But if I don't want to wear makeup, I shouldn't be expected to. If you come on my channel and you tell me I'm fat, well, I'm just going to think you're an asshole. But it's not like there's anything I can do. It's not like I can just unzip my body and suddenly be 30 or 50 or 100 pounds lighter. It takes time and effort and money in many cases to lose weight. And if I was inclined to do that, then I would do it for myself, not because you told me I'm fat. I'm not motivated to change my weight or put on makeup or act a certain way because somebody is rude to me. So that was kind of my point. My point is we're all special in our own way. We all have beauty. And we should all be allowed to exist without being harassed. Everybody has something. And if you just dismiss somebody because you don't like how they look, then you miss out on so many wonderful things, wonderful people. How do you know that that person that you've just dismissed isn't a great dancer or a great artist or doesn't tell great jokes or gifted at fixing cars or makes origami? There's any number of things. That person could be the greatest listener you've ever met. Or bakes a mean loaf of bread. You know, my husband and I met in a chat room, and we didn't see each other in person until we'd been talking for about 18 months. At the time, I had just started graduate school, and he had just rejoined the Army. He had gotten out for a brief time, about 4 years, mainly because of President Clinton's reduction in force in the military, and his career wasn't going so well. He was married to his ex-wife, who supported him getting out, even though that was his career and his vocation. And he spent that time working in dead-end factory jobs that he hated, that were boring and didn't pay enough. And then he decided he was going to get back in, and that's when they split up. I, on the other hand, had been waiting tables and getting treated for depression, and when I started taking antidepressants, realized that I could make choices that would change and improve my life. So I went for a double master's program in social work and public health, and that's when we met. He was separated from his ex-wife at that time, and she demanded a divorce. And by the time we met in person, it was a totally platonic relationship. That we met on the computer and we were just friends. But one day the Army sent him to the town where I was getting my degree, and we went on a date. And I wasn't sure how I felt. I didn't want to trust it, because I didn't really date much. But then a few months later, he was moved to Virginia, which is where I'm from. I was living in South Carolina at the time. And he'd come from Kansas, so it made it much easier for us to see each other. And that's when he was in the Pentagon. It was 9/11. By that time, he was divorced. Around that time, that's when we decided that we wanted to be together. And not long after that, we were engaged, and now we're very happily married and in love after 22 years. I don't know that many people have this. I don't think we'll ever split up. I can't imagine that we would. The only thing that will split us is death. I am very, very lucky. A lot of beautiful women don't have this, but I have it. And I feel very fortunate for that. But I also recognize everybody has something about them that is special and beautiful, and we should be celebrating that. If you don't like what I do, you can always move to the next channel. You can always click off. You don't have to make a demeaning, disgusting comment. I'm not going to change myself for you anyway. And I shouldn't be expected to. That was the point of yesterday's video. And I want to add one more comment. I mentioned a op-ed that I read. It was called The Gift of Menopause, and it was by Margaret Renkel written in 2018 for the New York Times. And she had a quote that I felt was very profound, and I'd like to share it. She said, "A person who is not afraid of looking like a fool gets to do a lot more dancing." Well, that's kind of my life. I am not afraid of looking like a fool. And for that reason, I've done things like go to nude spas and go swimming in beer, which I did in 2015. I've been to many countries, and I've met many people and had a lot of great experiences. I do get depressed. And right now, the shit show that's going on, every day I think of death and how that would be an escape. But I couldn't do that to my husband. He would be devastated. He adores me. He loves me very, very much. And I'm very fortunate in that regard. It will be a happy Valentine's Day for me. So if you made it to the end of my video, and I hope it made some sense, and I hope that you have a happy Valentine's Day, or long weekend, or at least a happy Friday. No, I don't think I'm ugly. I've never thought I was ugly. Other people feel free to say that to me, and they feel free to criticize things like the way I laugh, because I do have a Kamala Harris-like laugh. I'm not changing that for you, and I'm not going to shut up. So if you don't like it, you can kiss my ass, the biggest heart of all. That's all I got to say. Have a great day.